on Undercurrents. Pushing the envelope. The secrets of junk mail. Hi, I'm Wendy Mesley, and this is Undercurrents, the show about how media and technology are changing our lives. There's something pleasingly old-fashioned about real mail, even junk mail. But junk mail, or direct mail as advertisers wish we'd call it, has gone high-tech, and there's a reason they've chosen your mailbox. They know who you are. They know where you live. They are direct mailers, and they think they know how to capture you in the 5 seconds you spend checking out a piece of mail.
Good afternoon, WCJ.
We're here at Wunderman Cato Johnson, the biggest direct marketing agency in Canada, and we're shamelessly accepting an offer. We wanted to get in on a real direct mail campaign, but none of the clients would have us. They didn't want you or their competitors to know their strategies. So when this agency selflessly volunteered to create a campaign for Undercurrents, well, we bid.
We'd like to welcome our client, Wendy Mesley.
It's a window in for us and publicity for them. This is the so-called product group.
We've got creative represented, we've got consumer insights, and account management and media.
Not exactly a boiler room. They're all here to be briefed on the product, our show, and the target, new viewers aged 18 to 35.
They're university or college educated, technologically savvy Gen Xers who are skeptical of traditional explanations and are not seduced by conventional media.
They lay out the obstacles.
I think we're looking at what I would call the barrier of the CBC overall. It isn't hip, it isn't trendy.
And then the strategy.
So it's a matter of getting into the headspace of that target audience and finding out really what they want, and then using that to leverage them into trying your product.
Wouldn't the target audience, wouldn't they be somewhat resistant to what they might think is junk mail?
Not if the folks in creative do their job, no.
I can just see the OE.
OE is DM talk for outer envelope.
Just saying this is a shameless attempt to get you to watch the show.
Getting you inside the envelope is critical.
Maybe when you open it up, it's it could be those fridge magnets that you get with the little words on it, like all the different.
Oh yeah, the magnetic poetry. Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe we do them, get them done up in like what the show's about.
Mm-hmm.
If you had like words that they could play around with, like kind of cynical and
twisted, bitter, ironic words.
Yeah.
It's 2 days later, and fridge magnets are out.
Part of the idea on this concept is making it visually impactful to get their attention, so that when they go in the brochure, the first thing that they see is dirt actually stuck on the page.
Does watching TV sometimes make you feel dirty?
And then you turn the page and you'd see a bar of soap, and the soap would, represent coming clean and...
Soap, clean. Bubbles. Clean. Scrub. What else? This is sounding like a soap commercial. Everything makes sense. Everything's more or less spelled correctly.
A typical campaign takes 3 months, minimum. Ours was shrunk to 3 weeks, a rush job.
Here, I'll put it back. I'll put it back.
Thanks, Steve.
You rock.
Good luck, you guys.
They have 3 different concepts to present. First, the dirty one.
Want to get the dirt on TV, and then we tease them with an offer. Want to read Shift or Adbusters for free?
There's always an offer, and there's no better word than free. And then there's the gimmicks.
And what we have here are actual tipped on, it's real dirt. Real dirt glued onto the page. The whole idea is it's very sort of tactile and pulls you through. You feel the grit of the sandpaper and the dirt.
Why is it good to have little stunts like that, or tactile things?
It's just, it's something that's sort of unusual, hasn't been, seen so much by this audience necessarily, and it's involving. It pulls you through and makes sure that you read all of the elements.
Next.
This is the outer envelope. It actually looks through a window to a brain. We go in, side.
Kickstart your brain. Switch on Undercurrents.
I'm not sure I like the idea of making it seem like homework. The last concept is a spoof of what they do.
This is a blatant attempt to manipulate you, John Sample, and the person's name would be lasered onto the envelope.
Personalized letters outpull others. DM 101.
By reading these pages, you can change the way you think forever. If Undercurrents isn't the best TV show you've ever seen, we'll give you your money back. This piece itself, is about dissecting itself in the way that Undercurrents is about dissecting the media. The tagline kind of turned out to be resist manipulation for this piece. So what better way to celebrate that than with a resist manipulation contest? So act now. You could win a chance to resist manipulation in New York City.
And this is just the response card.
You enter by mailing it in. Then you can be tracked.
We can track how well the package is done and how well it's done in the audience.
This may be perverse, but I like the last one because it is making fun of direct mail, and I think people are somewhat suspicious about junk mail. But how to get that envelope in the hands of potential prospects? They use lists, vast databases of names and addresses.
Subscribers to online services, purchasers of music product, perhaps selecting by music preferences, purchasers of books.
Where do all these lists come from? Who's providing them?
The list owners.
There are thousands of lists. Even Stats Canada is in the list business.
When people fill out their census, information is taken from lifestyles and that sort of thing. And again, it's not Wendy Mesley does this. It's these people in this area tend to do this. They tend to be upper income. They tend to be this sort of mindset.
You pay for whatever list you want to use?
Yeah, we pay for the amount of the names that we're renting. And then
you rent a name?
We don't, if we get the name, we don't own it and we can't market it more than once. We pay per use. If that person becomes our customer, then the two-way communication can continue.
So if they respond to that mailing, they're in for life? We never leave them
They
alone?
can opt out because you offer them the opportunity to opt out, but we want them in for life.
We've picked our favorite concept, and they've mocked it up in color.
Resist manipulation, watch Undercurrents this Sunday and every Sunday, 10:30 on CBC.
So how does this compare to other direct mails that you've done?
You can see the strong offer tease on the front of the envelope, call to action words, don't miss this opportunity.
You need to constantly be reminding them that this is what you want them to do so that by the time they get to the end of the piece, that they respond the way that you want to.
Doesn't a lot of it just end up in the garbage, unopened?
Well, certainly there is an aspect of that.
An aspect? 95% of it becomes landfill, usually unread. In the DM business, the average response rate is 2%.
It passes.
And it isn't cheap. Our campaign to mail 1 million people would cost $750,000. And that doesn't include the agency's fee in the tens of thousands. So will our blatant attempt to manipulate you wind up in your mailbox? Resist manipulation. Act now. Tell your friends.